bicycles is very hard to handle because it is City Hall who has to really address these concerns. And we've been trying to get in touch with you for several months, I think actually a year and a half already, and you've been saying you'll really address the problem, but from
Okay.
your DOST, there's nothing that's being done.
Okay. So who, Chairman Tolentino first?
First question is something to do about number coding? No.
Actually, instead of really implementing that, why do you target the private sector who's paying their taxes, being really being very consensus, but there are those public sectors, the jeeps, the tricycle, the buses, who are not really obeying the law. Why don't you really target them first and you see the big difference that it's going to do to traffic?
Yes. If I may clarify again, that was just a suggestion given subject to approval of the Metro Manila mayors. It's not yet final. And let me clarify further, it's not a 2-day ban. The additional digits would just concern a certain time frame, rush hours. So it's not a final regulation to be implemented. I think that's the root cause of the confusion generated by tweets and Facebook statements. So it's not true. In fact, it has not been implemented.
Siguro lang, Chair Tolentino, and this probably applies to Vice Mayor Belmonte too. I think the concern in people's minds is before we have new initiatives, why don't we make sure that laws are implemented so that people do not park illegally, they are arrested for being in places where they shouldn't be? Have we done enough of that?
If I can add, I think we went beyond. If you recall, I even formed a Metro Traffic Watch program here for Katipunan, Xavierville, composed of community members, including Ateneo, Miriam. I formed a similar group in Valle Verde. I formed a group in LaSalle, Green Hills, and even in Commonwealth. So the basic notion here is to involve good citizens like you to really propose solutions. I think we have had several meetings, including reps coming from Miriam. So simula pa lang naman yan. I know your frustration, but I've just mentioned patience. We will definitely arrive at a solution, including the tricycle problem concerning QC.
First, I would like to thank Ma'am for your question. But first, I would like to clarify that my branch of government is not the implementing branch of government. We are the policy-making branch of government. And I don't think it is to us, to me that you went to, because if you wanted to talk to me, tomorrow you could already talk to me. So perhaps you went to a different government office, no? And I apologize for that particular branch for their shortcomings. However, I am happy to inform you that just maybe during after elections, the whole tricycle TODA has come to visit me already to ask for a solution to all of their concerns, not just the colorum, but that is the #1 concern, but also other things like PhilHealth for their families, livelihoods for their wives, accident insurance for themselves, etc. So I am in the process of doing public consultations with all the TODAs in Quezon City already to come up with a comprehensive solution to all of the problems of the tricycle drivers. But having said that, I'm also grateful for concerned citizens like yourself, and certainly we will be calling on you, since I know now you are from here in the Ateneo School of Government, to please come and participate in our public consultations as well so we can hear from you. No, but with regards to the colorum, this is not the venue for me to discuss it, but I realize from my research it is such a complex problem, such a difficult problem to address with layers and layers of protectors. No? But rest assured that the problem is now with me in terms of policy making, and we will address it. In the meantime, I will also inform the implementing body that you have been trying to talk to them for 1.5 years, because that is very bad. That's a very bad governance on the part of Quezon City. And thank you very much for bringing that to my attention.
Please, there's a question there.
Good afternoon. I'm Dennis Huang, college batch 79. Kaya Chairman Francis, matanda ako sa iyo ng isang taon. Anyway, listening to all of you this afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor Joy Belmonte, Justice Brion, Undersecretary Rivera, and Chairman Francis Tolentino, and listening to the way that you're handling yourselves in government and service, it makes me prouder to call myself an Atenean when we have people like you in government, no, doing service above self and spending the time. In fact, I was very touched by the story of Undersecretary Rivera about your family and so on. No? But anyway, my question is, like for example, the justice system here in government, maybe Justice Brion can answer this. You mentioned that there are 6 Ateneans in the Supreme Court now, no? And that may have an influence in the way justice is being served in this country because of education and your training. Is there anything that the law is doing to protect people that are, let's say, in cases that have been dragging on for 15, 20 years? Just to be able to resolve problems like those, no? I won't go into specifics, but I just want to know whether there are reforms being implemented with regards to those particular problems. No?
So overdue, long overdue
Yes.
cases.
There are plans under consideration now, but let me tell you that the justice problem is, especially the congestion of the courts, is a problem that will be with us for quite some time. It is a problem that will not easily be solved. At the Supreme Court level, in the first place, we do have a systemic problem. And this is why, if there would be a constitutional change, I would be in favor of that, for as long as they will tackle the problems of justice in this country. Do you know that in our present system, almost every case that starts at the municipal trial courts can go all the way up to the Supreme Court? Yung pong ejectment, kung papaalisin natin yung squatter na nakatira sa isang lupa, lahat po yan aakyat sa Supreme Court. Bumabalik pa. Pagkatapos ng aming desisyon, babalik pa, ipa-implement namin yan. Yung implementation, aakyat na naman. There is something wrong. We are getting more cases than we can handle. And I'm being very frank about this. So we must do something. We must have perhaps a constitutional court that handles all these constitutional and national issues, cases alone. And then there you would have a lower court, lower appellate court, that will handle all other appellate cases. And at some point, there must be a level beyond which the parties simply have to accept the decisions as final, and we must put an end to the cases. Hindi po pwedeng aakyat lahat sa Supreme Court. That's one point. My second point is we are now addressing jail decongestions. We are addressing, we have a draft now of a rule of the rules on civil procedure to decongest the lower courts. There is a disconnect right now between what the DOJ and the prosecutorial service is undertaking and what the lower courts are doing. We must address this disconnect. The problem right now is that we belong to different branches of government. Judiciary kami, sila nasa executive, And then there is that constitutional barrier between us. Ang sinasabi namin ngayon sa kanila, kaya hinihinga namin ng judicial affidavit, kung wala pa kayong kaso, huwag ninyong isampa ang kaso. Kasi ang nangyayari ngayon, yung isang kaso umakyat sa pulis, may testimonya sa pulis, yung statement sa pulis, iakyat na yan ng piskal, pending na yan sa court. Kung hindi buo ang kaso, huwag nating iakyat para hindi nakukongest yung ating justice system. Ang sinasabi ng mga piskal ngayon, may problema raw sila because they are not equipped. They don't have the numbers. And true enough, the prosecutors are also overburdened. So this is a case that, this is a situation that the government can and must address soon. And I think this problem has been brought to the level of the proper authorities. Alam na po yan ni Secretary Abad, palagay ko nakarating na rin kay Pangulong Aquino. So, pag ganito, unti-unti, nire-remedyohan natin. But at rock bottom, napakarami nating kaso. Masyado tayong litigation-oriented, kaunting problema, habla. But even at this point, yung ating mediation and conciliation have been very, very successful. But despite that, akyat pa rin ang akyat ang kaso. So, bear with us.
So at this point, we will have, let me summarize our discussions. I think Justice Brion asked a very important question. Where are the Ateneans bringing this country? And this afternoon, you had 4 stories. And I think these are 4 stories of courage. Some of us may not venture into what they're doing and would rather remain where we are because government work is indeed very, very difficult. And then we asked them the question, how has the Ateneo helped you? Vice Mayor Belmonte says, the Ateneo has always taught her to engage the world, to whom much is given, much is expected, and that's why she is giving back. I think Yusek Rivera and Chair Tolentino says, kayang gawin, mahirap pero kayang gawin. I think the chair of MMDA summarized what he learned from the Ateneo very well. He says here, he learned creative thinking, prayer, and patience, for government needs a lot of patience. So our challenge now in the Ateneo is, how will we teach our students more of these, and how will we accompany those who are already there, do it much better? Thank you very much. We have some tokens which you can wear during the basketball games.
Kapitbahay ko.